Jackie is such a badass. I love her. Helmet off, finally. Show me the face. Don't you dare. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Acolyte. We are now on to episode 5, which is called Night. So, the last episode, we basically had everybody landing on the planet where Kalnaka is, because they knew that that's where May would be heading next. But we see that May was having second thoughts about her whole mission now that she knows her sister is alive. She now wants to prioritize being with her and finding her. And that's, of course, against the master's orders. And conversely, we see that Osha was not really wanting to get involved with anything to do with May. She's trying to keep that separation up. But thanks to the encouragement from Sol, she decided to go to this planet and try to talk her sister down. Things came to a head when May made a break from it. For it, she separated from, I can't remember his name, Kinnear, I think it was. She made a trap for him, made a beeline for Kalnaka's house just to find that Kalnaka has already been executed, and it was by the master who is somehow on this planet. I have a theory, which I think is going to be proven right, that Kalnaka was already there, and I think it might be Kinnear because we did not see him again after the so-called trapping, but we're going to have to find out because we ended the episode with this master showing up, and they showed a display of power like by knocking over every Jedi there with a single gesture. So yeah, I feel like we might have a pretty crazy battle ensuing right now. We'll have to see whether or not this is a force or an entity that Sol recognizes, but I'm interested to find out who it is. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be notified of when I do uploads to this show or anything else you might be watching of mine, you can go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell and be in that know.
You're all right.
I mean, it's a robot, but okay. What is that? That's twice we've seen this red powder. Is it a hallucinogen? Who dat? That was one of the red shirts? I wasn't even paying attention to whoever wasn't Sol and Yord and the other chick. Talk. Oh, God. Oh. It's a light show. Okay, Master's taking you all on. Y'all should be embarrassed. Well, I feel like May's gonna grab her and tell her to stay out of this, or I'm gonna try to make a run for it with her. Yord! Damn! Master ain't playing around. Okay, Yord! Uh-oh. Really? Y'all didn't charge your lightsabers before coming out? That should be a basic. Where's Sol? No! Not the brother! Oh, not the sister, too! Wow. Okay, well, y'all clearly are not training at the academy. Aim true, sis. Hurry up! Okay, that did a whole lot of nothing. Is that even a weapon? Turn it up! Run! Couldn't they just use the force and pull you back? So, finally stole a saber, huh? Waited all that time for what? Girl, if you don't duck. Okay, thank you. Willing to show your face yet, Scarface? Or you just that ugly?
Civilian, to the ship.
Bye. Don't you head tilt at me. Use your voice. I feel like Sol knows who it is already.
We have to go back.
He's hurt.
I don't want to have to subdue you, but I will. Come on.
Could she resist it? Keep wondering. The force is still there somehow.
Who are you?
Okay, you don't know who it is.
You don't remember.
Knew it! I knew it had to be someone he knew.
I sense something familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You carry a Jedi weapon.
Did you steal it? Or is it yours? Damn! She said suplex! I don't know if you're ready for this fight, Padawan, because that's one thing I gotta give May. She's no joke. She said I got the... Whoa! Not the spin around.
Master and Dara, the murderers.
Yeah, you had time for all that, sis? What are you talking about? You should have chained her to something. Why did you bring up her family, bro? That's just gonna give her fuel. You gotta know something about May. She's a dirty fighter. She don't fight fair because she knows she can't. Are we ready to talk now? Can we have a conversation?
What master hides his face from his pupil?
I'm not a true master. Soul, I'm gonna need you to search your own memory here. Homie's not gonna make it easy for you. Ladies, we shouldn't be fighting. We have a mutual enemy here. Y'all need some Yoda. You need Yoda in here right now. Y'all suck.
Follow the rules of combat. There's no method to his movements.
It's erratic.
It doesn't make sense.
Probably not a Jedi.
My mother could do that. Get inside a Jedi's head.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Basil?
Basil's trying to save himself, okay? Basil don't want to be up in these woods with all y'all. He's like, I just came here for a paid job, and you have me dealing with crazy-ass Jedi. Good girl. Start fighting dirty. What is this red powder? What's the wind? Why is the wind a problem? So is he rescuing May? I guess so, because he must need May for something. Damn, why does nobody charge their damn sabers? Ha ha, I've got two. Okay, dual wielding, that's hot. Let's do it. There we go, flexibility. I wish I could. These long legs of mine, I don't want her to die. Don't kill Jackie, please. Wow. R.I.P. Kelneka in every sense.
Turn off your saber.
Trust her.
Light attracts them.
Attracts what?
Whatever's in here, just turn it off. Oh, yeah. All the little thingies are gone. Put it down. You know what, Yord? If you get killed, serves you right. Your arrogance. Shut up. And just listen. Thank you.
Coward. You were going to betray me.
And? Oh, that was almost perfect. I love teamwork, though, baby. Teamwork is dreamwork, baby. Now, listen, if the two of y'all really can't do anything with this person, you need to go back to the Jedi Academy and never leave, because this is some BS. Why are you running? Why is you running? May, come on, girl. You got some force in you, too.
He's gonna kill them. He's gonna kill them all.
He's not wrong. And then he's just going to come for the ship. Gets right. Get some help. See how he does when he's fighting Jedi and those things at the same time. We got a plan. We like a girl with a plan. Balls. Why does no one go for the balls? Jackie is such a badass. I love her. I really hope she doesn't die. Helmet off. Finally, show me the face. Don't you dare. Oh, no. I just said don't kill her. I knew it. I knew it was him. There was no way Master could have gotten there that quick. Yeah, she's gone. She fought bravely, though. Its name? Oh, fuck you.
She was a child.
He doesn't care.
You brought her here. You really didn't know it was me.
I mean, even I kind of figured that out. One-handed, damn.
I have no name, but a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
Why risk discovery?
Well, I did wear a mask.
Oh, you're such a genius.
The freedom to wield my power the way I like.
Oh, y'all went to his planet and did the same thing, didn't you?
A Jedi like you.
I'm starting to put it together. Mm-hmm.
This one went back on our deal.
Well, it's not really a people if you, like, threaten her with her life.
I don't make the rules.
Then who does?
The Jedi do.
Oh.
They see my face. They all die.
So how did Kelnaka know you?
Surprise.
A little bit. Damn! Okay, everybody dying. Is this gonna work? I mean, respectfully, Soul, you're a little old. Woo, that was hot. Damn. Soul is pissed. When someone who's chill all the time gets pissed, it's dangerous. Cut his hands off, quick. Why? Why? You're gonna get him killed. She just got him killed. Why would you get him to...
I've accepted my darkness. What have you done with yours?
The Jedi do not attack the unarmed.
But I can't say anything for animals. Light it up, please. Can you kill them all, though? Oh, that's gotta suck. He's not dead.
Why did he say that?
Confession time. Confession time. I think you need to let her go.
I shouldn't trust you.
Please, Osha.
No, please. Tell the truth.
I'll explain.
Now. Y'all need to have a conversation anyway. At least she only knocked him out.
I did what I needed to do
Did you though?
for you.
Hmm.
For everything you've ever done has been for yourself.
True.
All because of you. The Jedi got what they deserved. Those Jedi were more my family than you ever were.
Ooh.
You were the violent one. You started that fire.
Did she?
I can help you return to yourself. Don't choose them again.
Or what? Yeah, I don't think Osha's on the same page.
All we have is each other now.
It's never what Osha wanted.
You're a criminal, May. You must pay for your crimes. What are you doing? When I came here, he led you nowhere.
The two of you were never on the same page.
You never could block.
True. Very true. She's gonna pretend to be Osha so she can try and get back at Soul. He's not dead. That was a very bad plan. And the saga of Pip and Basil continues.
Saul,
Can she sense?
Are you all
Is he
right?
smart enough to sense that that's not...
let me help you.
Are you smarter than this, Soul?
Let's go.
Damn, Soul, really? The other Jedi were able to recognize it was May immediately. Wow, Soul really is that oblivious. That's sad. But I guess he never really spent enough time with them. Like, individually. Basil knows. But the only person who could understand Basil is dead.
Even in the revelation of our triumph, we see the depth of our despair.
Why are you giving this girl a lecture right now, sir? Don't you have places to be? Creepy. And I'm fairly certain he knows that that is not May. All right, well, that was an interesting episode. We got a reveal of who the master was, and I was right. My guess was right, because I said the timing just did not work out last episode. Like, how did the master get there so quickly, knowing that that May was about to defect? Like, that just didn't make any sense. I was like, it's gotta be. I've never seen these two at the same place at the same time. Very interesting. So sad that, yeah, May was unable to sense to some degree that it was him, like, but I get it. I don't think she was ever focused on that. I think she was way more focused on doing what she needed to do, which was getting her revenge. So I have a theory about whatever his real name is. He has, we'll call him the Sith, since that's what he's referring to himself as, is I thought maybe it was somebody who was already on that planet. Like, that was my first theory, is, oh, maybe it's one of the witches that escaped, but clearly not the case. What I'm thinking is that the Jedi went to whatever planet he's from originally and did exactly what they did on Osha and May's planet. I think that they've, maybe not this group of Jedi per se, but maybe. But another group party went to wherever he was originally from, saw that they were Force users, didn't like the way they used the Force, and basically said, either you're going to do it our way or no way. And they chose no way. And somehow he survived, whether he was a child, whether what he just got out, maybe his family smuggled him out. I don't know, but there's clearly a story here. And from that point, he basically said, okay, this is what the Jedi do. And then when he found May, he must have been like, oh, okay, so it's not just my planet. They just go around doing this. I've got a kindred in that this is someone else who hates the Jedi and what they're doing to us. She's going to work with me, and we're going to basically build, like, one could say, a protection against the Jedi ever being able to force them to do what they don't want to do again, or just wipe them out of existence, which from that perspective, it's completely understandable. And remember, remember I said a couple of episodes ago that while we as an audience have always been shown the Jedi as kind of the good guys, as the protagonists, Luke's story, Anakin's story, even initially, things like that, it always put the Jedi as the good people, the good users of the Force. So it was easy to see the Sith and people in that area, or those who associated with the Sith, as the bad people. But is it really that black and white, right? I think this show thus far, especially showing the space witches, was that there's so many different ways that one could view the Force and access the Force and use it and call it even different things. And just because Jedi at this particular time in history were the prevailing power, it didn't really give them the right to dictate to other cultures and worlds the way that they use the Force. Because really what it's giving is that the Jedi were scared that there might be Force users that were better and stronger than them, and they would not be able to subdue and control them if that was the case. Like, that's, I think, essentially what it comes down to. And there's an expression that says absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I don't think we can say that the Jedi are free from that, right? Because even though, yes, there's supposed to be general laws of peace and balance and unity, that's the tenets, that doesn't mean that everybody within the Jedi Order believes that to the nth degree, right? You're going to have people within that are just still going to feel a little different about that, or maybe feel like I just said, that only the Jedi should dictate who gets to use the power, or that anyone who can use it that might be just as good, if not better, is a threat. So yeah, I think we're seeing a situation with that here, where at one point the Jedi were oppressive as far as how the Force was used. The fact that they can just show up on a planet and say, yeah, if your child has Force abilities, they need to test as Jedi. And if we think they're good enough, they have to become Jedi, what do you call them? Padawans. And that's not fair. Like, if that memory of, I think we can assume was Osha's, was true, that we saw a few episodes back, then they really did force their way in, right? The witches were like, we don't want to be part of the Jedi Order. We're not part of your, we're not part of the, what do you call it? We're not part of the Republic. That's what it is. We're not part of, your governing body. So let us just live our lives. We're not going out there hunting Jedi. We're not out there trying to use our abilities to hurt anyone. We just want the freedom to essentially live and practice the way that we always have in peace. And really, the Jedi should have respected that. Like, unless these space witches were actually, like I said, going places, interfering with Jedi activities, or trying to take over whole worlds using the Force, there was no reason for the Jedi to interfere with them and their culture and their customs. But that's not what happened, right? The Jedi basically forced their way in because they sensed that there was Force users or heard about them, and decided that, because we saw, they were like, okay, space witches, you can do fine, but you can't be teaching your kids how to use the Force the way that you do it. You need to let us test them, and we train them in how to use it, aka put the proper barricades and boxes around how they use their Force the way that we deem as appropriate, right? So, Star Wars has always been an allegory for real human life and things that are happening in real society. And what's going on right now is, I think we've all, or most people, have already figured out that Jedi and the Jedi practices are very akin to a lot of religious practices that are in our world, like Buddhism, for example, things like that. Some tenets of Christianity, but I feel like it definitely falls a little bit more into what we know of traditional Buddhism today. But all that aside, the idea that Jedi is a bit of a cult, it really is, right? There's a belief system, there's a whole idea around what the Force is and how it's to be used. And sadly, throughout human history, when there's a belief system, particularly a religious one, there have been certain religions that have gone on very oppressive crusades to force other people to believe the way that they believe. Even if those cultures and those people were doing nothing to threaten what was going on with these particular groups, they still felt like, no, it's our way or the highway. And so that's very much what I'm getting the sense of, is that the Jedi very much believe that they're the only ones who can use the Force in the way that's deemed right, and anyone who doesn't do it their way is a Sith or a threat. And that's not fair. It's not true, and it's not right. They don't have the right to dictate how everyone uses the Force, as long as it's not a threat to the general health and prosperity, I would say, of the balance of the universe, right? Which is vast. So anyway, all of that to say that I do believe, unfortunately, at one point, these Jedi probably had a team, a task force, if you will, whose job was just to go out and find these rogue Force users and bring them to heel or get rid of them. And of course, if you're doing that, you're going to build enemies. You're going to create people like this Sith here, who is like, actually, screw the Jedi. I'm going to go up. I'm going to get my own acolytes. I'm going to get my own trainees, and we're going to create a counterforce that's really, its primary job is to keep the Jedi from coming and telling us how to live or doing this to anybody else. And again, looking from that perspective, they're not wrong. He's not wrong. And so anyway, it was an interesting battle overall. He is clearly very proficient, not only with his force ability, but we saw that even using a lightsaber, which apparently he was not trained as a Jedi. He clearly just learned from them and did a lot on his own. So you got to give him the props there. He's a very good student. But the whole thing of going after May afterwards, I do believe that that was more of an emotional thing, because truthfully, like, if May leaves, what's the difference? At that point, he was burned anyway. I mean, he did say that. He's like, you guys saw my face, you know who I am, so I have to take you all out so you don't come for me. But truthfully, what reason would May have to turn him in at that point, right? I think he knew enough about May at that point to know that she wasn't going to turn him in. She didn't give a damn. She just wanted to get away from him. So really, I think that that was personal. I do think that he did care about May in his own twisted way. Like, if he has lost all of his family because of whatever the Jedi did, he would have definitely kind of had a found family with May. And we kind of see that in the episodes where we see the two of them interacting. I do think that he had affection for May. And so it really did hurt him. It really did betray him that he's like, wow, I did all this for you, in his mind anyway. I trained you, I gave you a purpose, and your response to that is to drop me the second your sister, who doesn't even like you, comes along, right? So a little bit of an emotional disconnect there, I think, for sure. But either way, he should have understood, though, too, that since he's lost everyone most likely that he cares about, I'm assuming here, I could be wrong, but he should understand, my point is, where May's coming from, why she would have to take a shot at getting back her sister and getting her family back. But either way, we know that really it came down to he wanted to be the only one that May listened to, and that wasn't going to happen. So anyway, sad battle in that we lost everybody. Basically, Soul is the sole survivor. You see what I did there? Anyway, he's the only one who walked away. And again, I think that was on purpose, because the Master had 2 opportunities to take Soul out and didn't do it. So I don't think he wants to take Soul out. And that makes me wonder, did Soul go to his planet too? Because he said, don't you remember me? Now, I don't think it was from the shop, because yes, he talked to him in the shop back in the episode a couple episodes ago. He did talk to him when he thought he was just the shopkeeper. But to me, it felt like he said, I sensed something familiar about you. So I don't think it was that. I do think that maybe Soul was part of this landing party, little, like I said, this dispatch group that they had that would go out and find these rogue force users. And that I think that he probably went to the Sith's planet at some point. And I mean, obviously Soul wouldn't remember him at that point because he was probably a child. But yeah, I do think there's beef there, some historic stuff. But I'm wondering why. Like I said, I think there's a reason why Soul was left alive, and not just because he's the lead. I mean, obviously plot is part of it, but I do think that there's still something that the Sith has, some unfinished business with those two. And I know we're not really, when it comes to Star Wars, we don't really look at people's ethnicities that deeply, but the fact that they are both of Asian descent might be part of it too. Like maybe it's from the same planet, like maybe they came from the same place, which is possible. That would actually add a really cool layer to all of this if that was the case, but we don't know. I'm definitely throwing that one out there as a very far out theory. But anyway, sad in that we lost both our Padawans. I really like Jackie. Oh, I really like Jackie. I'm so sad. I kind of knew she was going out though, the way she was going so hard, but at least they gave her a really cool battle sequence before she was taken out. But yeah, it's sad. You know, the fact that understandably Soul is heartbroken because, you know, he cares a lot for his Padawans. But, you know, Sith wasn't wrong. He's like, you did bring them out here. They knew what they were getting into. So it was a risk that they took, unfortunately. But Jackie went out like a G. So did Yord. Yord didn't actually punk out at the end. He really did try, even injured. So yeah, too bad that they're gone. But it really is now just Soul. I'm wondering what's going to happen now that we see, well, yeah, we got to talk about May and Osha. May, again, we still don't know May's version of the story. I'm hoping we're going to get that in the next episode now that she's going to be alone with Soul. But yeah, we didn't really get her side, but we see that she's just like, look, we both survived. We should start over. We were both screwed over by our masters. So let's just, you know, let's run away together. But like I said, we know that for Osha, she still firmly believes that May did what she did. And as I said a couple episodes ago, I do think the reason why, even if she was given some type of an illusion, which I'm starting to think that might have been what happened. Like the Sith might have been the one to put into both of the girls' minds that the other perished, because we heard Yord say that he got in our heads and stayed there. So So he's able to do things. I wonder if he learned that from observing the space witches. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe the Sith was on that planet for a minute and he was observing the space witches and he learned some things from them potentially just by watching them, because I think that's how he learned how to use a saber too. So anyway, but digressing, clearly though, I don't think that the vision that Osha got about May was completely out there, because like I said, one thing I picked up from that episode is that that May has always been a bit oppressive to Osha as far as wanting to be with her and saying that, you know, their destinies are twined together, and you know what I mean? Like, it was just a bit much for Osha, who always wanted her freedom. So I do think that there's still some kernel of truth to May being a bit too clingy. And anyways, when they had their little face off in this episode, we see that May wanted to just basically go back to the way it was when they were kids. And Osha was like, nah, fam, like, you took everybody out. You took everything from me. Like, I didn't forget that. Like, I'm still not past the fact that as far as I know, you took our family from us. And we see that May's only response was, Soul took you away from us. So I still, like I said, I just need to know what May's version is, because she didn't deny the fire claims. She did not deny the assassination claims either. So both times, even when Jackie was trying to arrest her, she didn't say, I didn't do it, or what are you talking about? So there is something going on there. And I just really would love to know May's side, because that's still the fuzziest part of this picture. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I knew that Osha was not down. She still doesn't trust her sister. She still doesn't know the truth. And she still isn't even asking what the version of the truth is yet. But they fought. But as we see, Osha still has not tapped into her force abilities again. So she was quickly overtaken. And then I had a feeling when she was doing that thing with the saber, I'm like, oh, she about to cut her hair off. And she did. So now she's impersonating Osha. And like I said, I'm kind of surprised that Soul wasn't able to pick up on it. But maybe he's just, I mean, he's clearly frazzled, right? He just lost his entire landing team. So yeah, I'm hoping he picks it up sooner than later, or maybe he does know and he's going along with it for now because he wants to find out what's going on with May. We'll have to see. But either way, May's headed to the ship with Soul. We know that Soul wants to go back to Coruscant. I don't think that she wants to go that far though. I think May knows that going to Coruscant would be a mistake at this point, but I am curious as to why she's going there. Is it because she wants Soul to confess, so that her sister will know that Soul was part of whatever happened on the planet? I don't know, but it'll be an interesting flight back potentially, depending on what happens next episode. But yeah, outside of that, we see that the Sith, Kinnear, whatever his real name is still alive. And he now either is going to take, I feel like he's going to take Osha potentially, but Osha's not going to be a willing participant at all. But I'm interested to see what's going to go on there. I mean, he could take her out, but he clearly doesn't want to do that. So we might get his backstory via Osha next episode, with him explaining why he's like this and why he's doing that. So, are doing all of this. So yeah, again, good episode. Got that reveal of the master, but I kind of figured it out last episode, so I'm glad to see I was right. And we'll have to see how this all culminates, because I'm very curious to figure out where we're going with this now, because there is, like I said, the biggest piece that's still missing to this puzzle is what actually happened. What really happened on Brendock all those years ago? What was Soul's involvement? What was all their involvement? And what did May see? What did May remember? What was May's side of the story? So I'm looking forward to figuring that out next episode, hopefully, or at least in the next couple. I think we've got 10 this season, I think. I don't know that for certain. Do not hold me to that. But either way, I'm looking forward to what's coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.